Music Time with Steve Song.
Hi, it's me, Hooper. Can you guess where I am today?
Where is he going? What will he do? Where in the world is Hooper?
Let me give you a clue. You can find seeds here, but it's not the inside of a watermelon. Here's another hint. This place has delicious vegetables that you can pick from the ground. Now here's the last clue from the Cat in the Hat.
Wow! I've never seen so many flowers!
There's lots of flowers here. Great clue. So I'm at a place where you can find seeds, pick vegetables, and you can see flowers sometimes too. So did you guess where I am? You guessed it, a garden.
PBS Kids Go and Arthur rev up the fun with all new shows.
They're here!
Will Arthur's new glasses cause a spectacle?
You can go, girl!
Yeah! Has DW met her match?
She started it!
Will Buster crack the case of the missing butler? Aha! All this and more. All new Arthur.
What fun!
There's a show on PBS Kids that has everyone learning to read. Word World, where letters come together to build new friends, new places, and a whole new world of fun.
It's time to build a word. Let's build it. Let's build it now.
All.
Ball! Let's play ball!
Yay!
Watch Word World weekdays only on PBS Kids. And you can have fun building words every day at pbskids.org.
Let's get this show on the road.
Hi, I'm Murray from Sesame Street, and I'm looking for the word on the street.
What's the word on the street? Cactus.
Whoa, glockenspiel.
Penguin.
How's the water, guys?
Stuck.
Join Murray and see how much fun learning new words can be. This season on Sesame Street.
See you later.
Okay.
Word Up, weekday mornings at 11.
Thomas and Friends, making tracks to great destinations.
Dear Christopher, here is your friend Thomas the Tank Engine. He wanted to come out of his station yard and see the world. These stories tell you how he did it. I hope you will like them because you helped me to make them. Your loving Daddy.
James the Red Engine was exhausted. It was the hottest day of the season, and the freight cars were being more bothersome than usual. I need a good washdown, he complained to Thomas. Why should a splendid red engine like me take freight cars to the coal yards of all places? I'm on one's last wheel from all this work. Stuff and nonsense, sniffed Thomas. Why don't you tell Sir Topham Hatt about it? Maybe he could let you have a nice long rest. Then you can give us a rest from your moaning. Pah! Before James could say anything further, Sir Topham Hatt arrived. You've done a very good job today, James. Now I need you to take some empty fuel tankers from the scrapyards to the yard. They'll be transported to the depot to get refilled, and then delivered to the various fuel stations on the line. But sir, why can't Thomas go? He's got nothing better to do as far as I can see. Really useful engines don't argue. So James didn't. He chuffed crossly down the line. He had trouble with tankers before, and was not looking forward to a repeat. When he arrived at the scrapyards, he collected the tankers from the sidings. They looked like they hadn't been used for a long time. One of the diesels oiled in. About time you kettles deliver more fuel. Our station is running low. Are these tankers safe to use? Asked James. I really don't trust the look of their condition. Those are the only ones around, dear. Either take these or use your own boiler if you want to end up here where you belong. James took no notice and fumed away, but he was a little uneasy. After he delivered the train to the yard, he returned to the sheds. He noticed that Thomas was nowhere to be seen. Where's Thomas? He's usually at the sheds at this time. What took you so long, little Thomas? Asked Gordon. I had to bring a train of fuel tankers to the yard. They're needed for the depot tomorrow. Oh, are they now? Laughed James. Huh, imagine that. I didn't know I was getting extra help. It is a lot of fuel, James, grumbled Thomas. It needs more tankers than the ones you collected. But I would have been finished by now. If I were you, Thomas, I wouldn't play hunt the tankers and do your work efficiently. Perhaps just let a reliable engine like me do the job. Is that right? Smirked Percy. I know a tale about some tar tankers that indicates otherwise. James shot a look, but Gordon interjected. I propose, he tried not to chuckle, it's high time we all got some sleep. And so they did. James arrived at the yards to see that the sidings were full of tankers. The yard manager came to see James's crew. They are all for the fuel depot to get filled. As soon as they're loaded, bring them back here so the night train can collect them. Right, replied the driver. But that's going to take all day, James groaned. James wasn't pleased, but regardless, he coupled up to the train and set off. At the depot, workmen began filling up the tankers. James hated the smell of fuel in the air. He now wished he was back in the coal yards. It was getting late, and the last of the tankers were almost full. James and his crew were just resting, when suddenly they heard the foreman cry out, "Clear out! It's about to explode!" One of the old tankers was on fire. Worse still, the flames were spreading and nearing the tankers on the other track. The foreman was anxious. If those tankers catch fire, the whole depot will go up in flames. Then James had an idea. We need to move the flaming tankers out of the way so the fire won't spread. His driver and firemen agreed. It's now or never, James. Come on. James backed down to the tankers and pulled them out onto the open line as carefully as he could. Once they were in a safe distance, the firemen quickly uncoupled the tankers and James shot forwards with one final effort. Just in time. When morning came, the fire department had already extinguished the blaze. Sir Topham Hatt and an inspector came to survey the scene. Those tankers were rusty and had several leaky spots, explained the inspector. Probably no one had noticed due to them being empty when they got collected. They should have been properly inspected beforehand. I see, muttered Sir Topham Hatt. Luckily, very little damage was done, continued the fire chief. If it wasn't for your engine, this fire would have been near impossible to put out. Sir Topham Hatt turned to James. It seems we have a hero under our noses. I'm very proud of you, James. Well done. Just happy to help, sir. It wasn't long until the mess was cleared and James took the unharmed tankers back to the yard. Thomas was there having a nice drink. Hello, James, he teased. About time you delivered the fuel. Oh, be quiet. I had a rough night. I heard from the yard manager that you've done a blazing rescue. I sure did, smiled James. You could say it was the call for me to be a hero. A hero indeed. But those tankers sure did a number on your paintwork. Not so splendid now, eh, James? James snorted. Secretly, he didn't mind the grime. He was only glad to have been really useful.
Sodor's always busy with jobs that must be done. Being really useful is not just work, it's fun. Hard work can be dirty with coal and dust and grime. But if we choose to work or play, we choose to work each time. There are jobs across the island, today we're on the quay. Loading this and shunting that like fish fresh from the sea. We might be in the quarry or pulling the express. Whatever work we're doing, we always do our best. Sodor's always busy with jobs that must be done. Being really useful is not just work, it's fun. Hard work can be dirty with coal and dust and grime. But if we choose to work or play, we choose to work each time. It takes a team of engines to clear snow from the track. But when you're building buildings, you'll need Jack and his pack. They're digging, tipping, loading, whatever duty calls. Filling holes with concrete or knocking over walls. Sodor's always busy with jobs that must be done. Being really useful is not just work, it's fun. Hard work can be dirty with coal and dust and grime. But if we choose to work or play, we choose to work each time. What's the next job waiting? Only time will tell. If a job's worth doing, we like to do it well. Sodor's always busy with jobs that must be done. Being really useful is not just work, it's fun. Hard work can be dirty with coal and dust and grime. But if we choose to work or play, we choose to work each time. Sodor's always busy with jobs that must be done. Being really useful is not just
The island of Sodor is a wonderful place. Thomas enjoys puffing all over the island. There are lots of special places to visit. Where's this? That's right. It's Knapford Station. Every day is a busy day at Knapford. Carriages rattle and roll, and passengers and porters pack the platforms. Knapford Station is also a place for special events. One day, Sir Topham Hatt presented Gordon with special coaches. Gordon had set a new record for pulling the express. Then Emily arrived with a special prize for Diesel. He had set a new record, too. He had shunted more freight cars than any other Diesel. Everyone cheered. Knapford Station is also a place where racers are started. Once, Spencer arrived. He boasted that he was faster than all the Sodor engines. Then Sir Topham Hatt announced that he had a special for Edward. Edward was to take the Duke and Duchess's furniture to their summer house. Spencer wanted to have a race. Edward was worried. Spencer's bigger boiler only means more hot air, tooted Thomas. And by the end of the day, Edward proved that he could win the race. Knapford Station is also very special for one engine, and that's Thomas. It was the day of Sir Topham Hatt's mother's birthday party. All Thomas's ideas for her celebration had gone wrong. Then Thomas had his best idea ever. He would have the party for Sir Topham Hatt's mother at Knapford Station. The station never looked more wonderful. There were flags and flowers and fine food. Thomas gave one toot, and then one after the other. All the engines hooted and tooted and whistled and blew, "Happy birthday to you." Sir Topham Hatt's mother smiled from ear to ear. Thomas thought this was his best idea yet. So that's why Knapford Station is a very special place for Thomas. There are so many special places on the island of Sodor. Next time, Thomas will show us somewhere else. Here are some dots. If we join the dots, we will see one of the engines on Sir Topham Hatt's railway. I wonder which engine it is. Let's join the dots and find out. Here we go. Around the tender, and the cab. There's the dome, and a very tall funnel. Can you tell who it is yet? Around the buffers, and the wheels. They are very big wheels. There's only one engine on Sodor with wheels that big. Do you know who it is? Yes, it's Emily. Hello, Emily. Emily must go to Cronk Station, but she has never been there before. Thomas tells her about all the wonderful things she's going to see. First of all, said Thomas, you go through Knapford Station. Then you puff past the old lighthouse and cross over the iron bridge. I wonder if Emily can remember all those places. Through Knapford Station, past the lighthouse, over the iron bridge. Then Thomas tells Emily about even more places. You chuff up Gordon's Hill, into the castle tunnel, puff past the church, and steam through the Green Valley. Then you arrive at Cronk Station. Emily is ready to leave. Can you remember where she is going? First, Emily steams through Knapford Station. Then she passes the old lighthouse. Was it over or under the iron bridge? That's right, over the iron bridge. Then she puffs up Gordon's Hill. Then into the castle tunnel. Where is it next? Past the church. Yes, that's right. Then Emily goes through the valley and arrives at Cronk Station. Did you remember all those places Emily passed? Emily did. Well done, Emily. And well done, Thomas. Thomas is feeling very hot today. What will help him cool down? There are 3 different containers. What's in the first container? It's coal. Do you think that will stop Thomas feeling too hot? No, more coal will make a bigger fire in Thomas's firebox. That will make him even hotter. What about the next container? Soap flakes. Will they stop Thomas feeling hot? No, the soap flakes have made Thomas blow bubbles. And they won't stop him feeling too hot. One more container to try. What's in this one? It's water. Do you think water will help? Yes. Extra water in Thomas's boiler will stop him feeling too hot. Now Thomas has cooled down. He's ready to be a really useful engine again.
It was a very busy morning at the quarry. Edward was bringing a train of supply to the yards. He was about to set off home when he noticed Percy resting in the sheds. He was also very exhausted from all his quarry work. "Good morning, Percy," whistled Edward. "Have any of your trucks been causing you trouble?" "Yes, indeed, Edward," said Percy. "These trucks have been very troublesome. And it doesn't help that I've had more work than ever. I don't know if I'm on my cab or my wheels from all the extra work." Edward smiled warmly. "You look the right way up to me," chuckled Edward. "And don't be too hard on yourself, little Percy. When I was a young engine, I enjoyed my work very much. But as the years went by, I became older and older and started to feel worn out. But it never stopped me from finishing the task at hand. After all, people are counting on us, and I'm very sure you'll finish the work in no time." Percy smiled. "I must get back to work. I have to head to the docks for my other order of trucks. Thank you for the advice, Edward." And he cheerily puffed away. When the engines returned to the sheds that evening, the Fat Controller was there waiting for them. "Tonight there will be a storm, and with this small caveat, you will all need to pace yourselves to make sure you won't get into any accidents." Edward looked worried. "Last time I took a train out in the rain, I nearly ripped my side apart." "That's because you're just a little engine," scoffed Gordon. "I would have easily taken that train through the storm. Water's nothing to a big engine." Thomas and Percy were quick to intervene. Edward, however, decided to ignore Gordon's rude comment and went to sleep, still worried. Later that night, Gordon was taking a midnight express to the end of the line. The Fat Controller had been right. The storm was terrible. Rain poured down, lightning struck, and it made things very difficult to see. Come on, grumbled Gordon. I won't be delayed because of some water. But then there was trouble. As he approached his hill, he heard a loud bang from his cylinders. Steam hissed everywhere. Gordon could go no further. Looks like your cylinders have burst, Gordon, sighed his driver. We must telephone for a banker. We'll have to stay here until an engine comes to the rescue. Gordon felt very ashamed. What will the Fat Controller say? The driver soon telephoned the Fat Controller from a nearby signal box. The Fat Controller pondered. We must send an engine to bring him to the station at the end of the line. I shall send Edward for the job, and we must try to get those passengers home. Soon, Gordon heard a whistle from the distance. Peep, peep, whistled Edward. I've come to push you up the hill. We're counting on you, Edward, said his crew. This'll be fraught with danger. You can do it. Edward slowly pushed and puffed. Smoke billowed around as they slowly climbed up the hill. We can do it! We can do it! Puffed Edward. Pull harder! Pull harder! Gordon wheezed. Trying with all their might, the cavalcade finally reached the top of the hill. We've done it! We've done it! Whistled Edward. The passengers waved and cheered for Edward as they flew through stations and soon reached the end of the line. Everyone made sure to thank Edward for his heroic rescue as they left the station. The Fat Controller arrived at the platform and spoke severely to Gordon. I'm very disappointed with you, Gordon. You have caused confusion and delay. If you would have refused to have a banker, I dare to think how much worse this could have been. Gordon didn't say a word and only stared down at his buffers. When the two engines returned to their berths, Gordon made sure to apologize to Edward. I'm very sorry if I was rude, little Edward. You've done a fine job rescuing my express. It was rather half-witted of me to call you a little engine. Thank you, Gordon, chuckled Edward. And once more, if you need another push up the hill, I'll be there to be your banker. All you need is a little bit of luck. Gordon could only smile as they both drifted off to sleep.
Tune in to Angelina Ballerina, the next steps for loads of fun.
I'm Angelina Ballerina.
And a stupendous time at Camembert Academy.
Really?
Join Angelina and all her friends as they discover new dances, close friendships, and new ways to have fun.
Absolutely, positively.
Watch Angelina Ballerina, the next step, right here on PBS Kids.
Want to hear some dynamite dino news?
We want to hear it.
Dinosaur Train is on weekdays.
Really? You kidding? Yeah!
Catch Dinosaur Train weekdays on PBS Kids or watch anytime you want at pbskids.org.
Woohoo!
Music time!
With Steve songs.
Hey, hey.
Hi, it's me, Hooper. Can you guess where I am today?
Where is he going? What will he do? Where in the world is Hooper?
For my first clue, there are people coming and going here, and many of them are traveling to places far away. Oh, and I have another hint. People here have suitcases or bags. That's how they bring their things with them. This is my suitcase. It's pretty heavy. I think I overpacked. But you can never have too many clean socks. You know, in case you want to make sock puppets. Now here's the third clue from Martha Speaks.
Flight 362, now boarding.
Great clue! There are lots of airplanes here. Okay, so I'm at a place where there are lots of people coming and going, where they carry suitcases or bags, and where there are airplanes. So did you guess where I am? You guessed it, the airport.
Over there, let's go! We're in the wild with wildcrats, going where no human has gone before.
Not anymore!
Watch Wildcrats weekdays on PBS Kids Go or anytime at pbskidsgo.org.
Smart.
It's an elephant.
Athletic.
I got it! Yay!
Adventurous.
I'm going on the subway.
On PBS Kids, Caillou and his friends make new discoveries every day. And you can come along.
Yay!
Don't miss Caillou.
When it comes to monkeys, no one measures up to Curious George.
2 feet tall.
Every weekday on PBS Kids, George takes off on the ultimate adventure.
George, where are you going?
He searches, he explores, he itches to know more. So hang out with your favorite award-winning monkey. Curious George, weekdays here on PBS Kids or anytime you want at pbskids.org.
It's super wide.
Y-Rider, right. Let's roll. We climbed down to the bottom of the wall.
Super wide weekdays on PBS Kids or watch anytime you want at pbskids.org.
Thomas and Friends, making tracks to great destinations.
Dear Christopher, here is your friend Thomas the Tank Engine. He wanted to come out of his station yard and see the world. These stories tell you how he did it. I hope you will like them because you helped me to make them. Your loving Daddy.
The island of Sodor is surrounded by beautiful blue sea. It has fields of green and sandy yellow beaches. There are rivers, streams, and lots of trees where the birds sing. There are windmills and a coal mine and docks where visitors to the island arrive. The island also has lots and lots of railway lines. Who's that puffing down the track? It's Thomas. Hello, Thomas. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the island of Sodor.
One day, the Fat Controller had some very exciting news for the engines. A television company is going to use the railway to make a film, he said. The film is about some children who become very special friends with the engines. 3 engines will be chosen to be in the film. They will be star engines. Peep, peep, said Thomas. Which 3 engines will it be? Wait and see, said Sir Topham. That night in the shed, the engines talked about the film. I wonder who will be chosen to be in it, murmured Thomas. It's obvious, scoffed James. They'll need a splendid-looking engine, so I'm definitely in. They'll need a strong engine too, laughed Henry. I fit that role perfectly. And above all else, they'll need a grand engine, finished Gordon. And everybody knows there's no one grander on this railway than me. We are the largest engines after all, they boasted. I do hope you are chosen for the film, said Edward graciously. So do I, said Percy. Thomas felt sad. He wanted to be in the film too, but Gordon, Henry and James were so confident they'd be chosen that he believed them. I hope you enjoy making the film, he told them. Do you think I can come and watch? Oh, of course, smiled Gordon. And you won't just watch us, Thomas. I won't, he gasped excitedly. No, laughed James. You can help shunt the yard while we're filming. The big engines laughed, and Thomas went crossly to sleep. The next morning, Henry, Gordon and James were still boasting. Tell the Fat Controller we'll be late in starting this morning, Gordon told Edward as he prepared to leave for the big station. Our drivers and firemen are going to give us an extra wash and polish. We have to look our best for the TV people, put in James. Edward grimaced. He was growing tired of the talk of television. Don't take too long. Remember, the passengers don't like to be kept waiting. But the 3 big engines didn't care about passengers. They just wanted to impress the TV people. But the Fat Controller wasn't impressed when he heard. An extra wash and polish, he spluttered. They should be thinking of their passengers. I have told them that, sir, sighed Edward. But they want to look their best for the television people. Thomas and Percy were busy bringing coaches to the platform, whilst Toby arranged trucks for the day's good train. The TV people won't be interested in us, they thought. We're better being really useful engines instead. The Fat Controller went to make alternative arrangements for their trains to run on time. Fortunately, Boko was able to run the Express in Gordon's place, and Henry and James's trains were taken by Donald and Douglas instead. Soon, the 3 big engines puffed grandly into the big station, where the Fat Controller was waiting with the producer of the film. These are my bigger engines, Gordon, Henry and James. They think they'd make fine stars for your film. The producer looked them up and down. They are really fine engines. The big engines were flattered. But they are rather large. What about the other engines? The smaller ones? The Fat Controller pointed to Thomas, Percy and Toby. The producer was delighted. They're just the right size! Gordon, Henry and James were surprised. But what about us? They gasped. You three, the Fat Controller told them sternly, can take the goods train that Donald, Douglas and Boko have had to leave in order to run your trains. Perhaps that'll teach you to be a little less vain in future. The 3 big engines went off in a huff, and Thomas, Percy and Toby were included in the film. They enjoyed being filmed a great deal. They thought acting was lots of fun. Thomas felt especially pleased with himself. He liked the idea of being a special star engine. At first, Gordon, Henry and James were jealous, but they soon learned to be happy for the smaller engines, particularly when they were invited to the special premiere of the film at the big station. What happens in the film? Henry asked Thomas. Thomas chuckled. You'll have to wait and see.
The island of Sodor is a wonderful place. Thomas enjoys puffing all over the island. There are lots of special places to visit. Where's this? That's right, it's the Sodor Island Seaside. All the engines like chuffing by the seaside. They like the fresh sea air. And they like to hear the seagulls calling. Most of all, they like to see the children's happy faces playing on the sand. And there's nothing the children like more on the beach than ice cream. One hot summer, Thomas was working very hard. He had to bring ice cream to the ice cream stall. Thomas didn't want to pull freight cars of ice cream. He wanted to pull passenger cars of happy children. But when he arrived, the children cheered and cheered. Thomas was surprised. They were so happy to see Thomas. He had brought them lots of ice cream. This was the best seaside job of all. There's one engine for whom the seaside is very special. That's Skarloey. Thomas was to pull Skarloey to the menders. He wanted to show Skarloey the sights of Sodor. The sights Skarloey didn't see in the mountains. But Skarloey didn't think the sights were special at all. Until he saw the sea. It was the most magical thing he had ever seen. Skarloey said he'd never seen anything like it. It was wonderful. Skarloey didn't want to leave the seaside. He wanted to stay looking at it forever and ever. That's why the seaside is very special for Skarloey. There are so many special places on the island of Sodor. Next time, Thomas will show us somewhere else. Percy has 2 heavy jobs to do today. First, Percy has to move 2 cars of slate into a siding. The slate is very heavy. What can Percy do? Percy has a good idea. He's pulling the cars 1 car at a time. Well done, Percy. Percy has moved both the cars of heavy slate. Now, Percy has to move lots of coal, but he only has 1 freight car. What can Percy do? Percy has another good idea. He moves the coal a little at a time. Well done, Percy. Percy has done both his jobs. He's not just strong, he's very clever. The island of Sodor is a very special place. And sometimes there are exciting events that make things even more special. Events such as a birthday party, the winter holidays, even a visit from someone famous. And if you look carefully, you'll know when these things are about to happen. Look at this cake covered in candles. You'll always see a cake with candles at a birthday party. Thomas is pulling a special tree. You'll always see a tree with decorations during the winter holidays. And now look at this red carpet. You'll always see a red carpet when someone famous arrives on Sodor. Someone like Alicia Botti, the famous opera singer. Now, can you remember when you would see each thing? What about the cake with its candles? Yes, there's always a cake with candles when there's a birthday party. What about the special tree Thomas delivered? Yes, there's always a tree with decorations for the winter holidays. And what about the red carpet? That's right. There's always a red carpet for famous people like Alicia Botti, the famous opera singer. Sodor is a wonderful place, no matter what is happening. But when there's something special going on, you'll know what to look out for. All the engines on Sodor are a bright, bold color. But this engine has been working in the coaling plant today and is covered in coal dust. How can you tell who it is? This engine has a round face and boiler. Do all the engines have round faces? No. Toby and Salty have square faces, so it can't be either of them. What else can you see? This engine has a separate coal tender at the back. Do all the other engines have a separate coal tender? No. Thomas and Percy don't, so it can't be either of them. Now look at the engine's funnel. It's very tall. What about the other engines? Do they all have tall funnels? No. Gordon and Henry have short funnels, so it can't be either of them. Who's left? Edward and James. Edward and James both have round faces, separate coal tenders, and tall funnels. It's time for this engine to have a washdown. What color can you see now? Red. So it can't be Edward. It must be James. Hello, James.
The Flying Scots. Donald and Douglas are two of the hardest working engines on the island of Sodor. They handle goods and passengers with ease and are happy to help on both the main and branch lines. The drivers refer to them as engines of all trades. There is one job, however, that the twins had yet to do. Gordon is most proud of the express. He runs his trains to time, and the passengers sing his praises. Even so, he sometimes needs a rest. The fat controller decided it was time for him to have another. It didn't take long for Henry and James to begin boasting. "Whoever will pull the express, I wonder?" James smirked in the shed that night. "I know one engine the fat controller will choose," Henry replied smugly. "Oh, here we go," Donald muttered. "No sleep for us tonight," chuckled Douglas. "Huh," snorted Henry. "You're just jealous. You two are only goods engines." "We're mixed traffic. Same as you, if you recall," Donald replied. "Some of us are better suited for important trains than others," James sneered. "That's why you two take trucks." "We only take trucks 'cause of the fuss you lot make about them," laughed Douglas. "We treat the express like any other train. A job to be done, and done well." "Very well said, Douglas," yawned Gordon. "Now, can we please quiet down and get some sleep?" Henry and James huffed, but said no more. "Those two could certainly do with having their wheels trimmed," Gordon grumbled to the twins next morning. "Their boasting is maddening at times." "Aye," chuckled Douglas, "but there's not a thing to do for it." "If you two took the express," Gordon replied, It would certainly knock some sense into them. If the Fat Controller asks us to, we will, smiled Donald. For now, we've got trucks to sort. The twins gave cheerful whistles and puffed off, leaving Gordon wondering how to give them their chance. Fortunately, he wouldn't have to do a thing. James and Henry were being ready for the day's work. Nearby, Donald and Douglas were shunting trucks for their morning trains. Ah, yes, James smirked. You won't see express engines shunting dirty trucks. Indeed, laughed Henry. It wouldn't do to look shabby for the passengers. Perhaps if Henry hadn't been so busy boasting, he would have noticed the points by the water tower weren't set properly. Too late, his wheels left the rails and his tender toppled over. No one was hurt, but James was trapped in his siding. You did that on purpose to stop me getting the express, James snapped. On purpose? You shouldn't have been distracting me, fumed Henry. When the Fat Controller arrived, Henry and James wisely stopped arguing. You have caused a great deal of trouble, he fumed. You can stay there until we get the train sorted out. Perhaps it will teach you not to get so big in the smoke box. Henry and James looked shamefully at their buffers. I'm sorry, Gordon, said the Fat Controller, but you may have to pull the express again before your rest. If I may, sir, smiled Gordon, why not let Donald and Douglas take the express? I'm sure Edward, Duck, and I can handle the other work. Duck and Edward were quick to agree, and the Fat Controller pondered. Well, you two, he said, turning to the twins. What do you say? We'd be honored, sir, the twins beamed. And so it was arranged. The twins were gentle with the coaches, gave the passengers a smooth ride, and charged over Gordon's Hill. They had no trouble keeping to time. In fact, they were often early. Gordon sang their praises when he saw them return. You two look splendid flying along the line. I dare say we ought to call you the Flying Scots. I'm sure my dear brother would agree if he could see you. All in a day's work, smiled Donald. I suppose, chuckled Douglas, some of us are better suited for important trains. James and Henry, who were both stuck on goods work, said nothing at all.
PBS Kids.
Guess what? The dinosaur train is headed your way.
This is so exciting. We have to come see it. It's amazing. Well, what are we waiting for?
Catch Dinosaur Train weekdays on PBS Kids or watch anytime you want at pbskids.org.
Connections make life meaningful. American Greetings, proud sponsor of Dragon Tales.
This program is funded in part by a Ready to Learn grant from the U.S. Department of Education through the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
PBS Kids!
Are you curious? Curious about the way things work? About the people you see? And the world around you? PBS Kids is the place for curious kids. And Curious George. George, what are you doing? He wants to learn. He wants to grow. And he wants to have fun, just like you. So don't miss Curious George, only on PBS Kids.
Maria?
Yes, Elmo?
Some things on TV scare Elmo.
Oh, if something on TV makes you or you feel sad or scared, tell a grown-up that's close to you.
Like you, Maria?
Yes, Elmo.
Programming on TPT is supported by
with Thomas and Friends. There are many new adventures and special stories with all your favorite very useful engines. Take to the tracks with Thomas and Friends on PBS Kids.
That's a very good idea.
Coming up next on KTW.
Arthur Reed's a guy who's got it all. Brains.
Excellent, Arthur. You really gave that a lot of thought.
Style. And a little sister.
Arthur! This is all your fault. What kind of older brother are you?
That's DW. She's really...
Is that the best you can do?
Really...
Let us out! Let us out!
Little sistery.
Wake up, Arthur! It's time to start the show!
Don't miss Arthur, weekdays on PBS Kids Go. PBS Kids Go is going to take you deep into the world of Cyber Chase, where you can join the Cyber Squad.
Come on, guys.
Jackie.
How cool is that?
Matt.
Let's do it.
Inez.
We better check it out.
And Ditch.
Never fear, the Ditch is here.
Help the Cyber Squad protect cyberspace.
I think I have a plan.
We'll help.
On Cyber Chase. Only on PBS Kids Go.
Thomas and Friends, making tracks to great destinations.
Dear Christopher, here is your friend Thomas the Tank Engine. He wanted to come out of his station yard and see the world. These stories tell you how he did it. I hope you will like them because you helped me to make them. Your loving, Daddy.
The island of Sodor is surrounded by beautiful blue sea. It has fields of green and sandy yellow beaches. There are rivers, streams, and lots of trees where the birds sing. There are windmills and a coal mine and docks where visitors to the island arrive. The island also has lots and lots of railway lines. Who's that puffing down the track? It's Thomas. Hello, Thomas. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the island of Sodor.
Emily is a very proud engine. She likes to do her best and show everyone what to do. Emily is also an old engine. She has long, elegant curves and 2 big driving wheels. One day, Gordon did not feel well, so the Fat Controller asked Emily to take his express until he returned. "Yes, sir," puffed Emily. "I won't let you down." "Excellent," smiled the Fat Controller. "I hoped I could rely on you." Emily felt very pleased. She collected the coaches and took them to the station. The passengers were surprised to see a different engine on their train. "Peep, peep, peep! Quickly, please!" called Emily cheerily. Emily had not taken the express for a very long time, and did not know that Gordon always started slowly and gently. "Nice and steady," said her driver. "I'm a passenger engine," said Emily huffily. "I know what to do." The guard blew his whistle and Emily replied with her own. She was excited to get on her way and started so suddenly she tipped backwards as she left the platform. "Careful," called her driver. "You can't reel like that, Emily. The passengers won't like it." Emily snorted and moved out onto the main line. Things got a little better. Emily was soon making good time and having fun. "Come along, come along, come along," she puffed to the coaches as they hummed happily behind her. But the passengers weren't happy. Emily's big wheels made her rock and roll like a ship in high seas. The passengers were being jostled about inside their compartments. "This is too bouncy! How uncomfortable! This won't do at all!" The coaches were worried. "Slow down! Slow down!" they said to Emily. "But this is the express," said Emily huffily. "I can't slow down." Much too rough, muttered the coaches. The driver and fireman weren't happy either. They slowed their engine down so the rocking stopped. Emily was annoyed. "Now I'm going to be late," she fumed. The train soon came to Gordon's Hill and Emily wanted to go faster, but her driver wouldn't let her. The old engine could feel the weight of the coaches pulling against her as she started to climb the hill. "I can do it! I can do it! I can do it!" she panted. All of a sudden, her large wheels slipped and Emily struggled to carry on. "I must do it! I must do it!" It was no good. The coaches were heavy and Emily was going too slowly. She couldn't get a grip and soon stopped, halfway up the hill. Botheration, said her driver. Back for a banker we go, sighed the fireman. The train was brought back to the station and Edward was soon ready to push from behind. Never mind, he said kindly to Emily. Even Gordon struggles in the hills sometimes. But Emily did mind. She felt sad. She thought she had let the Fat Controller and the passengers down. Emily was taken off the train at the other end of the line. She was taken to a siding for arrest. It's not fair, she complained. I only wanted to help the passengers and the Fat Controller. There, soothed her driver. It isn't your fault you rear or rock like you do. It just comes from your big wheels. That didn't make Emily feel any better. Was it something I said? A station master soon came running up to them. James has failed with a commuter train, he cried. Could you get the passengers back home, please? Right away, replied the driver. He scrambled into the cab. Come on, old girl, let's give it another try. Emily puffed unsurely away. They found James halfway along the line. His passengers swarmed angrily around him. Emily blew her whistle and they soon stopped complaining. Don't worry, everyone, she said. I'll get you home. The passengers were helped back into their coaches, and Emily was coupled on. The guard waved his green flag and Emily started off. Emily did her best to make up the time, but every time she tried to go fast, she would rock and roll again. The old engine had to work hard to find a speed that was just right. She would rear up when starting too, bumping the passengers about. Emily felt upset whenever they complained, but she knew she was doing her best to help them get home. Gordon was standing at the station with his express. He felt much better, but could not leave until James' train had come. He whistled impatiently. Where is that James? He grumbled. Doesn't he know he's making me horribly late? At last the train arrived. Emily was in such a hurry, she had forgotten until too late to slow down. She put her brakes hard on, her big wheels locked and skidded to a halt. 2 coaches were beyond the platform and she had to go back to let the passengers out. Gordon laughed. I know they call us engines iron horses, but you don't have to behave like a real horse. Emily glared. What do you mean by that? No respectful passenger engine would rear up on their frames like you do, replied Gordon grandly. Anyone would think they're being hauled by stagecoach. Emily was about to retort, but she never got her chance. Ah, Emily. The Fat Controller approached the 2 engines. I have heard about your, horseplay on the express this morning. Gordon sniggered. Emily blushed. However, these mishaps are not your fault. All engines with larger driving wheels suffer issues like this, and you still helped these passengers get home when James failed. Well done. I'm very proud of you. Emily was very proud. Thank you, sir, she said. I did say I wouldn't let you down. Gordon was quiet, and when his train was ready, he respectfully puffed away. Emily is still happy to help other engines when they need it. She still rocks and rolls and rears, but she has learned to take these in her stride. Workmen and crews began calling her the old mare, which means they could always rely on her. This makes the old engine very proud indeed.
There's no one quite like Emily, from the Emerald Emily. You don't need to ask her twice when you want some sound advice. All those especially. She's got that certain you know what. There's no one quite like Emily. Sometimes she can't help herself and gets misunderstood. Things can sometimes turn her wrong when all she meant was good. There's no one quite like Emily, friendly Emerald Emily. You don't need to ask her twice when you want some sound advice. All those who know Emily know what shows especially. She's got that certain you know what. There's no one quite like Emily. Clever, cheerful, confident, she really knows her stuff. She's the one to get things done, will us up and love. There's no one quite like Emily, friendly Emerald Emily. You don't need to ask her twice when you want some sound advice. All those who know Emily know what shows especially. She's got that certain you know what. There's no one quite like Emily. There's no one quite like Emily, friendly Emerald Emily. You don't need to ask her twice when you want some sound advice. All those who know Emily know what shows especially. She's got that certain you know what. There's no one quite like Emily.
Today, Thomas must take a boat to the docks. But he needs to go under a bridge. Which is the best bridge for Thomas to go under? The first bridge is wide enough for Thomas and the boat. But what about the mast? This bridge isn't tall enough. What about this bridge? It's very tall. The mast will fit under that bridge. But is it wide enough? This bridge is much too narrow. What about this bridge? It's very tall and it's very wide. Thomas can pull the boat under this bridge. Well done, Thomas. The children are going to school. Bertie has brought them to the station early. The children have to wait for Gordon. Listen, what's that? There's a train coming. It's a blue engine, so it could be Gordon. But look, this engine has got a tall, thin funnel. And it's only got 4 wheels. That's not Gordon. Do you know who it is? It's Edward. The children like seeing Edward, but today he is carrying coal. The children still have to wait for Gordon. Listen, what's that? There's another train coming. I wonder if this one is Gordon. It's another blue engine, but look. This engine has big water tanks over its wheels. And it's got the number 1 on its side. That's not Gordon. But do you know who it is? It's Thomas. And he's pulling Annie and Clarabelle. The children love seeing Thomas. But Thomas doesn't stop at this station. The children still have to wait for Gordon. Listen, what's that? There's another train coming. I hope this one is Gordon. It's another blue engine. This engine has a very short funnel. It's very big and very fast. It's Gordon! The children waited patiently for Gordon. And now Gordon will get them to school on time. Well done, Gordon. It's a beautiful day on the island of Sodor. Percy has been chosen to take some children to the seaside. But Percy feels nervous. It's a very special job. Percy wants the children to have a wonderful day. What can Percy do to make himself feel better? Percy can fill his water tanks at the water tower. Then Percy knows he can make lots of steam and keep his engine nice and cool all day. But what can Percy do next to make himself feel good? Percy can have a lovely long washdown. Percy loves being clean and shiny. Now Percy looks his very best. What can Percy do next to feel good about his trip? Percy can make sure his tender is full of coal. Percy looks his best and is ready to go. Percy can steam ahead and know he'll arrive safely and on time. So what did Percy do? First, Percy filled his tanks with water at the water tower. Then, Percy had a really good wash. Finally, he made sure his tender was full of coal. Now Percy feels like a really useful engine. And he is ready to collect the children. Have a nice day at the seaside, Percy. Here are Percy, Edward, and Henry. Percy is the smallest engine. Edward is the medium-sized engine. And Henry is the biggest engine. Today, each of the engines is going to visit a special destination. The Scottish castle, the windmill, and the beach cabin at Bluffs Cove. Percy wants to go to the smallest building. Should he go to the Scottish castle, the windmill, or the beach cabin? Let's see. Percy puffs along his track. Round lots of corners. It's very twisty. Where do you think it's going to take him? It looks like Percy is going to the beach cabin at Bluffs Cove. The beach cabin is the smallest building. Well done, Percy. What about Edward? Edward wants to go to the medium-sized building. Should he go to the windmill or the Scottish castle? Edward twists in and out, around and about. Can you see where he's going yet? It looks like the windmill. The windmill is the medium-sized building. Well done, Edward. Now it's Henry's turn. Henry wants to go to the biggest building. Henry steams along his track. It twists round to the left and round to the right and takes Henry to the Scottish castle. The Scottish castle is the biggest building. Well done, Henry. Percy, Edward, and Henry all arrived at the right building to match their size. Well done, everyone.
Edward's Express. When Gordon arrived on the railway, Sir Topham Hatt purchased brand new express coaches for him. They had sturdy metal bodies, smooth bogies, and separate compartments for the passengers. Gordon was well pleased with his coaches. The old coaches felt left out. They were made of wood, ran on axles, and had no individual compartments. Time and wear led the railway inspectors to see them as unworthy of the main line. The coaches were most upset. "Cheer up," smiled Edward as he shunted them into the carriage sidings. "Will still be useful on the branch line trains." "Branch lines!" they shuddered. "How embarrassing!" While Henry was shut in the tunnel, Edward took over his local trains. He knew all about being left behind and brought the old coaches out every chance he got. This cheered them up, until Gordon voiced his opinions. "A pity," he sniffed as Edward shuffled in with the coaches. "But that's the price of progress. Why, even you would have been a prime express engine at one point, Edward. I suppose it's only natural that modern engines require modern coaches." "Is that so?" smirked Edward. "Why, I think you'd look most distinguished pulling these old dears." "Oh, no thank you," Gordon harumphed. "They'd be open-top carriages before I even reached top speed. Now these are proper coaches," he finished, eyeing the express behind him. "Is that what they are? I thought someone had stretched out the goods vans, and you were doing some real work for a change," laughed Thomas as he shuffled past with some trucks. Edward couldn't help but chuckle, and Gordon fumed out of the station. His mood didn't improve on the main line. They were running well. Too well. "Settle down, Gordon," scolded the driver. "You'll do a number on yourself. Make no mistake." Real work," muttered Gordon. "I'll show those engines a thing or two about real work." The next morning, Gordon tried to leave the sheds, but he couldn't. "What's happened to me?" he groaned. The crew inspected him and quickly found the problem. "Something's wrong with your tender brakes," sighed the fireman. "And with how you were going about yesterday, I'm not surprised." "And you thought the old coaches were the ones who would fall apart," laughed Thomas. Edward shot him a look. "This is no time for teasing, Thomas. The express must go out on time." "And how?" grunted Gordon. "You aren't strong enough to pull those coaches, Edward." Edward glanced at the coaches in the carriage sidings. And then he spotted something else. The passengers were growing impatient. There was no train ready for them, and it would soon be time to leave. The fat controller had just stepped out of his office to see what the matter was, when he saw a most peculiar sight. Edward came steaming in with all the old coaches he could find. The passengers were surprised, but thankful they had a train at all. They hurriedly boarded the coaches, and the fat controller smiled. "Well done, Edward. Most resourceful of you. Don't push yourself too hard now." "I may not match Gordon's pace, sir," smiled Edward, "but I'll have a jolly good try." The guard blew his whistle, and Edward started away. Soon, he was coasting down the main line, making excellent time. He whooshed through the tunnel, giving Henry quite a surprise. "Go on, Edward! Go on!" he cheered. Come along, Edward puffed. Gentle and fast. Gentle and fast, cooed the coaches. They were very pleased with Edward. At the last station, the passengers cheered and thanked Edward. The engine at Vickerstown was most amused, but looked on with admiration. Edward just smiled. He was thankful for a rest and a drink. When he returned to Sodor, Edward spoke kindly to the old coaches. Well, dears, how did you fancy a return to the glory of the Express? Oh, it was lovely, Edward, smiled one. Although, added another, perhaps you were right. Some leisurely branch line work sounds most enticing. Well, Edward laughed, I'd say it's time for a well-earned rest in the carriage shed. Come along. That won't be necessary. Gordon slunk up alongside. The Fat Controller has given me temporary reprieve from the rigors of mainline work to rest my wheels, he stated grandly. I shall escort these fine coaches to the shed. That's not what he said, smirked Thomas. He said you were to shunt in the yard until you learned not to be so big in the smoke box. Take us away, then. Double quick. Chop, chop, ordered the old coaches. Edward and Thomas laughed. Gordon went red in the face and shuffled silently away.
Lego Duplo proudly supports Thomas and Friends on PBS Kids, where imagination and creative play fuel your child's journey. Lego Duplo, building sets for preschoolers.
PBS Kids. PBS Kids has dinosaurs.
Hi.
Dinosaurs. What's new with you? And more dinosaurs.
Why does your beak look so different from ours? I'm more interested in finding out about different dinosaurs than ever.
It's a dinosaur train marathon.
We get to ride the dinosaur train. I too. I 3. I 4.
That's 4 shows in a row.
Cool.
Don't miss the Dinosaur Train Marathon on PBS Kids, Labor Day, September 7th.